Let's join Mama Bioswabwaje at the Institute of Local Government Studies, Accra, for a discussion on a number of issues, and we'll be doing that very soon. But before we do all that, let's give you a lot more of your messages. He says, I wish I was in a technical school. I was a visual arts student back at secondary school. These artists don't know what unemployment or joblessness is because they have their handiwork, I may say, and that's Azu from Bizwa. I hope I pronounced the place right. And okay, you are giving us messages, but all in graphics. We would want the messages in writing. And then I have this one from, you say that there's a school that looks like a death trap. It is unfortunate how our leaders reluctantly look on while our children are left at the mercy of this dilapidated building. And the building you've sent to us, the question is it a curse to be born in a village? And that's at Lompe in the Nandumba North District of the Northern Region. But now let's join Mama Bioswabwaje at the Institute of Local Government Studies here in Accra for a discussion on the training of MMDCEs, which will be starting on the 3rd of July.
Yes, Roland, I'm coming to you live from the Institute of Local Government Studies, the Accra campus. We're talking MMDCEs. There's an induction ceremony for them. And so we've met up with the Deputy Local Government Minister, who is also Member of Parliament for Equiap himself, Mr. Osei Bonsu Amoah, is our guest on the AM show. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Mama V.
Yes.
Thank you so much for coming here.
Thank you for hosting us, even though the original landlord is standing somewhere around. We'll have a conversation with him later on.
Okay.
But how many MMDCEs are expected to take part in this exercise?
Thank you and good morning to viewers. As you're aware, we have 216. But as we speak, not all the 216 have been endorsed by the assemblies. We have less than 20 who are still going through the process. You know, some were renominated by the president. There will be new appointments. As of this morning, I hear that the Boko appointment didn't get it to test. But the day before, the Kushegu one has been endorsed. So as we move on, the endorsements are still going on. But certainly means we'll be expecting almost 200 from the assemblies to be here.
Okay. Tell us why you're putting them together to have this exercise. Why is it so important?
Well, it's all about orientation. It's very clear that once these chief executives take office, they need to know why they are in that position. We have to teach them certain skills that will help them to run the districts. They're in charge of security. They're in charge of the environment. They're in charge of budget planning, procurement. All these are critical issues, and they need to learn these things. Apart from the fact that we now have new Local Governance Act, which was passed on 20th December 2016. What is the act expecting them to do as chief executives? All these are critical things, and they need to know. We also need to learn from them. A few weeks that they've run their districts, what are the challenges that they are facing? We also let them know some challenges that they should anticipate and how they should address them, the channels that they have to adopt in even addressing some of these challenges. And then,
Did you have to speak up a bit for us?
The challenges that they have to adopt, confront, and then how we would show them the channels they have to go through in addressing some of these challenges. It's a whole 5-day orientation program. It's very intensive, and we expect that at the end of the exercise, they would have appreciated the role they are going to play, the position they are going to occupy, and then they would have acquired some skills, leadership skills, etc., to be able to run the district.
Okay. Can you take us through the content exactly shared?
Yes, we're going to share a lot. We have lined up programs based on all that they expected to do. So, for instance, it's about communication skills. It's about security, what they are expected to do. If it's about budgeting, budgeting and planning, what they are required to know. You said about procurement. How do they procure? So all the critical things expected of those running the assembly is what we are going to take them through.
Are these people with specialized expertise?
We've assembled experts.
Yeah, but those who are coming, the MMDCEs, those who've been appointed, are they expected to have some kind of expertise before?
No, it's just like somebody being appointed a minister. You should just qualify under the Constitution. The president can nominate you. You go through appointments committee, the vetting, you're endorsed by Parliament. Then you're supposed to go and run your office. You may come with various skills, but you need to know what you are required to do in that position. It's the same way for the chief executives. They have varied backgrounds, whether a teacher, whether a professional, whatever field, but none of them has ever run a district. Maybe a few have been presiding members, some have been assembly members. I know one or two who had a short stint as chief executives, but most of them, this is their first time they are running districts, and they need to appreciate what we expect from them.
5 days, is it enough to get them to the level where you want to get them to?
Not at all. The 5 days, we will say that it's just acquisition of basic skills. Because beyond that, we have this institute here. Those who would have to come here would have to come here. If the institute will have to go to the field, they will go to the field. To be continuous education as to how to run a district. So the 5 days is just to expose them to the basic requirements and skills to run the districts and the assemblies. Beyond that, as I said, this which is involved in educating them and letting them acquire their skills.
So I'm watching television now. You're telling me this. My DC is coming for the training. What should I expect from him when he returns?
When he returns, if he's going to apply or if he applies what he has learned here, he should have better communication skills. He should have better leadership skills. He should have an idea of what to do when it comes to procurement. He should have an idea of budgeting and planning. He will be the head of security in the district. He should know the channels and everything when it comes to security. All aspects that is required of a person to run a district. We would have touched on those aspects. And we'll give them material to take along. And we expect that as they run the place, they'll be referring to the material and learning more on the job. For instance, you coming from the media side, there's what we call participatory democracy in the Local Governance Act, meaning that major decisions that you take in the district, you should involve major stakeholders. And major stakeholders meaning that going out to do fora, engaging them either in the media, taking responses from them, taking petitions from them. They are all spelled out in the Local Governance Act. And we expect that we take them through all this so that you don't end up running a district, but there's no engagement, interaction, or even stakeholder feedback on what you're doing as far as running the district is concerned.
Are there certain channels, if you have any complaints about your DCE or your municipal chief executive, what are the channels that you go through as a resident or a citizen?
Well, the first thing as a citizen is for you to write a petition to the Assembly and the DC about what you think is the problem. And you expect that that problem will be addressed. If it's not addressed, that means you're going beyond the district. The region will have to come in, and then the ministry will have to come in. But it's expected that whatever complaints you have, the first stop is the district. And the law makes provision for it, that even if you submit the petition, the district is required to respond to your petition. If you're not satisfied, then it means you find other channels or you go beyond it.
I know that you are all positive about this exercise, but what's that big challenge that you perceive?
Well, we expect that, of course, you're bringing adults to come and train them. By and large, we are aware that most of them, if not all of them, are trainable. That is number one. Two, we expect that the discussants, those who will be responsible for the lectures, will come to a level that everybody, one, will appreciate what is being done, and for everybody to participate. The participation is very critical. If we don't achieve those things, some may come here to be like they came for just sightseeing and camaraderie and then go back. But our challenge is to make sure that they maximize the 5 days that they spend here. It's cramped. That's the problem. If we had our own way, it would have been more than the 5 days. But of course, they are running the districts, and you can't keep them away for that long. But they come. This is the first time they all come together. We need a network, and then we put them through the skills, but we go back to the field.
Going forward, first of all, what happens to the 16 or so?
Well, certainly once they get endorsed, they will also go through the training. If it means going to them, also bringing them here, that's small number. But we look at the efficiency of it, the opportunity cost. What is the best method? We group them at one place and just take them through it. But we go to them, take them through it. So they will also have the opportunity to do.
Are you on time with the timelines that you gave yourself when the appointments came, or because of all the incidents that we've seen happen across the country, it's delayed the process a bit?
Well, originally we had hoped that by June we would have gone through this, but of course we couldn't avoid the Muslim calendar. We had to take into consideration the 1 month Muslim calendar, so that has shifted it to beginning of July. We wanted to do it as quickly as possible because by May almost all of them were in place and we thought we could assemble them. But then we had to give room for the Muslims amongst the group, and then the fact that relocating them very far away will have all these problems. So we are on schedule. We wish that all the 216 could assemble. As it is, it will be just around 200, and we are okay with that.
Savlugu has been quiet, but what's the updates?
There's nothing going on in Savlugu, except that the MC is going about her duties.
So she's been fully accepted now?
Well, in democracy, sometimes you don't even say that anybody has been fully accepted. Even the president of the nation didn't get 60%. But he's running the country, and every day people bring issues. There are those who have shown that from day one they don't want him as president, but he has been duly elected. It's the same way with Savlugu. She was nominated, the assembly accepted her. Some said that even if you have been endorsed, we will not allow you to start work. We thought that that was not democratic enough. At the end of the day, peace is reigning, and she's carrying out her duties. We expect her here on Sunday. Monday we start, and then we know that after 1 week, she'll be more equipped to run the municipality.
Going forward, there have been talks about electing MMDCEs. Is the ministry working on that now, or you're waiting for more directives from the presidents?
Now, we've set up a committee looking at all the dynamics. All things being equal, we are hoping that at most by the last week of July, we'll go out. We'll go and do fora, stakeholders fora across the country. There are two key issues regarding this matter. One, if the people of Ghana want the DCs or the chief executives to be elected in a partisan way, that means we should draw a program for a referendum, because the provision on non-partisan is entrenched. So if you want to amend that provision, the people of Ghana who should decide through a referendum. 40% at least of the electorate should vote, and 70% at least should say that change it to make it. Want it to be partisan, but we are insisting to be elections. And if the required number agree that DCs should be elected, but in a non-partisan way, then we do that. So we have timelines. We're hoping that if we still want to meet our deadline of September 2019, when the Assembly's elections will be due, we want to meet that deadline so that there will be 3 boxes. We need committees, Assembly members, and chief executives. Then we have to work backwards to make sure that by September 2019, we take part in the elections.
Honorable, Thank you very much.
Thank you.
We wish you well with this program.
We know you'll be here, so there'll be more to talk about.
We'll definitely be here. So let the conversation continue. We thank you for joining us from the Institute of Local Government Studies here in Accra, the Accra campus. My guest, the Honorable Obi Amoah, is a Deputy Local Government Minister, but also a Member of Parliament for Ikuapem South. Roland, I'll see you in studio on Monday. Enjoy the weekend, but stay with us. The show still continues.